Not too much. Not too much. Certainly good news on this whole thing. That sounds like right where we wanted to be with it all along. And hopefully they don't come back again. I think this was tried probably about 8 years ago, and they seem like they came back to the well again. I think we have to make the infrastructure such, and the state has to really get off their behinds. The state legislature and put an energy plan in place, which hasn't been in place, needs to be in place. So after they get done doing a great job on this New York State budget, they have to get to putting an energy plan in place so we don't have to deal with this every so many years. Yeah, and not only devalue the property values, let's look past that. Let's look past opening up that, open up your electrical bill every single month and seeing 7 to 15 to 20 or even 30%, what some estimates had, higher of an electric bill. Yeah. Than what we had already. It's difficult to do business in New York State. Forbes just ranked us 191st out of 200 places as far as the best places to do business.
Right.
And that was, the city of Utica, Greater Utica Metropolitan Service Area. And, imagine throwing a 20% higher electrical cost on top of that, and you're going to tell somebody with any sort of a factory or any sort of a manufacturing process that, we want to come forward and we want to have you come up here. Well, for what?
Right.
Because to pay more prices for your insurance, to pay more prices for your power, to pay more prices for your land, pay more taxes. It's not a pretty picture that we paint when we try to entice people up here. Then you revert to these other state programs that are being pulled out of this state budget, like the Empire Zone program, for example. The STAR program, you like to lean back on that. That's being talked about as being taken out. This is just not a great time to be doing business in New York State. It's not a great time to be living in New York State, unfortunately, or fortunately. We live here. It's a great place to live. We like it. We make it work. And, when you look at the pluses, there's a lot of pluses to living here as well, whether it's, lack of hurricanes, lack of mudslides, lack of things like that. Obviously, our crime rates are pretty good, and, you have the anomalies, like especially the incident that happened in Binghamton today, and certainly that's, everyone's hearts go out to the people down there.
This is a very big day. Well, the presiding officers, in the wake of the announcement, the withdrawal announcement, have made it clear that their perspective is that if Nyri were to come back, they would start at the beginning once again, from point zero. No, we've been very optimistic throughout at each stage in the process. I think that we made great progress in illustrating that there are better ways to address the energy needs in the state of New York. And we've had minor successes in the Article 7 case through today. And as you may know, the Communities Against Regional Interconnect also prevailed in its federal litigation with the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission. So we've had a lot to be happy about in this process. Well, I'm glad that it's turned out this way. As I said, I think Kerry's participation in the process and the process itself, I think, has illustrated that there are better ways to address New York's energy needs.
That's great news. We're here in Albany facing some very difficult decisions and trying to block this drastic and disastrous budget. But to get this, and it's ironically, it came the news as we were trying to prevent another utility tax hike that's in this budget right now that all of us are going to feel. So to know that Nyri has withdrawn is just remarkable. And I knew it would happen, though. This was a bad project from the very beginning. It was ill-conceived. It was about the investors, not about anything as far as transporting energy to areas that need it. And we saw it for what it was. We stayed unified. We fought on merit. And I think that's another illustration. This is the most recent illustration of how when you stay together and you fight on the facts, you can win. But, it goes all the way back to fighting the Base Realignment and Closure Commission.
Right.
And we did have some successes there. And I think it's a model, though, for us to use to continue to remember that if we do our research and homework and if we stay together and we cooperate and put forward the fight the way it needs to be through a strategy, you can be successful. And I think in this case, from the very beginning, we showed them that we wouldn't back down in any way. From the very beginning, when I actually formed with Rocky DeVeronica, the 8-county coalition, and asked Steve DeMille to serve because Steve had this kind of experience. So I'm proud of everybody now who's worked on this, from the community organizations, the Stop Nyri organizations in our area when they had the initial meetings in Sequoia and New Hartford. So many people were involved in this. They all deserve credit from the community activists to the average residents to all of the public officials on both sides of the aisle at all levels of government, those who are no longer in government, who were there when this started. Everybody deserves credit in this one, and it's a great day for our area.